What's going on, guys? gtaao here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going over the security contracts, as they are also 2 times the cash on RP in this week in GTA Online. So I'm going to show you the ones I think are worth it, and yeah, let's get into it. So here we have obviously 3 security contracts. We have recover valuables, asset protection, and rescue operation. Now, out of these 3, this time the recover valuables is paying the most. However, though, I would always avoid asset protection. I would never do this one because it just takes longer, and even though you might make a lot of money from it if it's a really good one that time, I really think, unless it's like 120k plus, I wouldn't even bother with it because you're going to spend like at least 10 minutes doing this, where the rest really only take 5. Now, rescue operation and recover valuables are both good. In this case, I'm going to do recover valuables because it is paying more than the rescue operation. So, this one's specialist, 100k. This is really close to as good as they get. I just really quick wanted to show you guys that how much these actually pay. This one is paying out 109,000, which is honestly insane. But you can also see I have another one here paying out 106,000, and this one is paying 103,000. Now, 109,000 seems like the most. It's actually not the most. If you get a specialist plus contract, they're extremely rare. But if you get one, they can pay around 120k this week. So definitely do these security contracts if you want to make a lot of money this week. However, it's not the best, but it's pretty close. So for this one, you can either use like a helicopter if you want to do it a little bit faster, but if you want to do it easier, I recommend using something like an armored Kuruma or one of the vehicles from the agency with like armor plating, so you have the bullet resistant windows. I'm going to be using the champion, as the champion is the fastest one, I think, out of all like the agency vehicles. So all we're going to be doing is going to a place, we're going to open a safe, we're going to take the stolen contents from the safe, and then return them to the agency. So this can happen at 2 locations. It can be at Vanilla Unicorn or at Tequilala. We got Tequilala, obviously, as you can see. So we need to find the code from the safe once we get in there. So I'm going to show you the very common places that you can find it, and we'll probably find it at one of those locations. Obviously, there are going to be a bunch of NPCs that we have to take out, so we got to deal with them as well. Anyways, though, we're going to head up and around to the back of the place. So, for this, I use an assault shotgun because it's relatively close quarters. You could use like an MG for the one at the Vanilla Unicorn, doesn't really matter. This safe will always be at the same location, which is going to be either up here, or sometimes it's down in the basement, which looks like that's where we're going to have to go. At the Vanilla Unicorn, it's always in the back, at least in my experience. Take you out, take you out, take you out so you don't come behind. So, for the code though, it's normally either around the bar or sometimes it's over here. It's actually right here. But I have to find the safe first. So it's probably going to be all the way down here since we didn't find it upstairs. I didn't even see that guy, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so the safe is right here, and we already saw the combination. It is possible sometimes the combination is down there if the safe is upstairs, but in this case, I showed you the combination's right here. So we're simply gonna grab that. Sometimes other NPCs will spawn, like they did actually. So just look out for them when you're doing this after you grab the safe code. Anyways, now, okay. Is it gonna let me open the safe here? Please. There we go. So, either a necklace or a watch will be in here. Just simply go ahead and grab it. Now, we're just gonna simply exit the way we came in. Do gotta watch out for the NPCs, because I know they're up there. There's one. There's the other. Now, if you're using a helicopter, when the NPCs outside spawn, you probably will get shot a little bit. I took 1 bullet, but I should be fine from now on since I'm in the car. And then we're just gonna go ahead and deliver this to the agency, and that's 100K for recovered valuables. Now, when you're doing these contracts, you always want to do the one that's gonna pay you the most amount of money, unless it's gonna take longer. That's why I say don't do asset protection. I would also avoid gang termination, unless it's paying a lot. It's not too bad, but it is one that I think takes a little longer. Especially if you get one where you can't kill all, like, the people you need to get, with, like, a helicopter or something. Because it isn't too bad if you can just, like, rain missiles down on them. But in the event, like, it's at, like, the motel where you take out the Lost MC leaders or whatever, it's gonna be, like, 10 times harder because you won't be able to take out all of the, guys just by, like, using a sparrow or a buzzard and shooting missiles down. Now, there is like a 5-minute cooldown in between the contracts, so I will start the next one once that cooldown is over. In between the cooldown though, you could do something like the Dr. Dre heist, especially this week, like do like a setup in between and just kind of alternate, because that'll take about 5 minutes, and by the time you come back, you can then run another security contract and also be making money with the Dr. Dre heist. Also, I will mention that the wall safe, you want to do 201 contracts. After you do 201 contracts, you'll get 20K every 48 minutes in your wall safe completely free. I have 40K because I've waited about 2 hours while I was doing the Dr. Dre heist video, which, by the way, if you want to see that, I can link it on the card up in the top right. So I will catch you guys after the cooldown. So next up, we're gonna have rescue operation. This time it's only paying 88.50, not the best, but not terrible. So for this one, as the name suggests, we're gonna go rescue somebody. This one is very easy. This can happen at a decent number of locations, but basically you're just gonna go somewhere, take out some hitmen, and then take the person to a safe house, which I don't know if it varies based on the agency, but if you have the same one I do, up in like the hills here, this one, it'll be like literally right next to the warehouse. So, Franklin is gonna call us. We're going to La Puerta, so not too far. Now, this one can be anywhere from the docks up to, like, Raton Canyon. So, there are, like, a decent number of locations, but it's normally not too hard, to find the person. You just kind of gotta roll around till you find the hitmen. It tells you to, like, listen for gunshots or whatever, but I play on really low audio, like the lowest audio setting, and I have music muted, obviously, because I don't want to get copyrighted. So, for me, I don't really listen, I kind of just drive around and find them. So, for this, though, it's pretty easy. You just kind of go through this path in the warehouses. If you played the game a lot, you probably know about this path. But you kind of just go on through, and eventually you'll normally find them. Sometimes they're like, yeah, so right here there's a hitman, so we know we're at the right spot. We're just gonna get out and start going to work on them. Sometimes I hate the auto aim. I don't want to aim at him there. I want to aim there. Okay, got him. Like one more over here. There he is. So we're gonna collect the client. We're gonna bring him to our vehicle, and then simply just drive him to the safe house. Now, if you have it in like Raton Canyon or something, you can go to like, what is he, bro? Oh. Bro, can you like get in the car? Yeah, come over, get in the vehicle. Yeah, the NPCs are a little bit fucking retarded, so... And by a little bit, I mean they're basically as dumb as a box of rocks, but... Okay, I can't go back up that way, I thought I could. Anyways, we're gonna loop this back around then, we'll just drive past them. I didn't want to do it, because the windows on this aren't, like, fully bulletproof, they're only bullet resistant. Here, you guys hold that. Okay, I missed, but... There we go. Just drive right over them. Okay, I'm gonna put the sticky bomb away. I meant to shoot at them, but I kind of accidentally pulled out a bomb, so I tried, but... Anyways, now that we're out, we're simply just gonna drive him back to the safe house. Like I was saying, if you have, like, Ratton Canyon or something, you can use, like, a helicopter, or even better, if you have one and you can fly it well enough, like a pyro plane. They'll get in anything, basically, as long as it has 2 seats, so... I'm just using a car, one, because I don't like flying with my current headset problems. I'm getting a lot of feedback when I fly helicopters. And the fact that, it was close anyways, so no reason to really not use the car. Also, we don't get shot as much. Anyways, the safe house is here behind the ammunition. So, we will drive him there and get our payment. Okay. NPCs are really making it annoying. Way more annoying than it has to be. By blocking me off and stuff. Anyways. There it is. So I will catch you guys with the next contract. So guys, I actually forgot to show you the contract. What I'm doing is called Liquidize Assets. This one isn't really the best. It's not a bad one. It's definitely better than, say, asset protection or gang termination. This one involves you going to a place, clearing it out. I'm not sure if we steal something, but then we go and, like, plant some bombs and destroy, like, a little building. I don't do this one that often, so I don't know if there's any other locations for this. I don't think there is, but I could be wrong. Anyways, though, it's a pretty simple mission. This one, I mean, it's not great, but it is good if you don't have anything better. I had recover valuables or gang termination. I already showed you guys recover valuables, so I decided to do this one, even though it was paying more. So I'm gonna go ahead here, and we're just gonna tail this helicopter to the hideout. That is part of it. As you see, I can't do this enough. I can't remember exactly how it goes. But anyways, you just want to make sure that you don't get detected. With the helicopters, it's pretty easy, because what you can do, a little trick I learned, is if you actually just go higher up, you don't have to stay as far behind, because it's like a direct line from you to the helicopter. So even if you're above it, if you're high enough above it, they won't actually detect you. As you can see here, I'm gonna go like directly above the helicopter, but since I'm high up, they don't even like get any detection. So doesn't really matter though. I would normally just chill like about this far behind. Is probably good, and a little bit above. So they're basically just gonna go fly to the hideout, and then we'll go in, clear them out, and detonate the charges that we plant, and that'll be it for this mission. It's pretty easy, like I said. I mean, all of them are pretty easy, but this one is, I think, a little easier than most. I believe also when they land, if you like use a car to tail them, you can just go in at the bottom of the building. But since I'm using a helicopter, I might as well just go into the top. Okay, I don't know what that helicopter's doing, but it looks like they're gonna keep going north here. It was weird. They did like a turnaround to gain altitude. Alright, they're landing here. I don't want to get detected. That's not great. Doesn't really matter if you get detected. You'll just have to deal with some enemies. But anyways, they landed here at the Richard Majestic, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same. We'll put it down here. Okay, I didn't really want to hit them, but they didn't really give me any room to land, so... So we're gonna go ahead and take them out. There's not too many. It's like one more after this guy. Ran out of ammo in the mag, but they're all dead anyways. Okay. It's different for each one. This one, we're gonna destroy these counterfeit bills. I know there's another one where you're like in an office, and I think in that case, maybe you destroy something else. But now we're gonna plant our satchel charges. And then we will simply fly away, and that'll do it for this mission. So let's go ahead and plant these. Also, it does not matter in what order you plant them. Just FYI. Also never tried to steal the money, but I guess you can't, unfortunately. Alright, get rid of that guy. Alright, obviously you gotta leave within this certain amount of time. Well, I actually don't know if it matters, but... Anyways, that's that mission. Pretty easy, just have to make sure you don't get detected. I mean, even if you do, it's not the end of the world. So that's that. Obviously we have the cops, but I'm pretty sure you can just call them off with Lester. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, nope, but it'll be easy to lose these 3 stars. Wonder if I can bribe authorities. Unfortunately not. So, we'll just wait to lose the cops, and then we will move on to the next mission. Alright, so now we have a vehicle recovery. I think this is the last one I'm going to cover here. This one is probably the most simple. It's very simple. You go somewhere, take out some guys, steal a vehicle, deliver it back. Now, there are different variations of this, and depending on the location, it'll determine the vehicle you get. If you're going to LSIA, you'll get a bike, like a motorcycle. If you go to Human Labs, you get a van. If you go to Davis, you get the Pegasi Ignis supercar. I think it's like a Lamborghini Sion or Revolto, one of those, I think. Overall, though, doesn't really matter. It's the same idea. You just go there, steal the vehicle, and deliver it back to the agency. I always recommend using a helicopter on this, as it'll make it faster. You don't really need a car because there's no enemies outside. The one thing I would recommend is having full snacks and body armor though, because there are a lot of NPCs, and most likely you'll get shot a bit on each one. And specifically for this one, if you've done the Human Labs raid before, or the bunker resupply mission there, it'll help, because you do have to navigate the Human Labs one when you go there, so knowing like kind of where to go will definitely help with that. But overall, this is probably the easiest contract. If you have this one and it's paying well, I'd recommend doing it over any other contract. Because it is probably the fastest, as long as you don't get Human Labs. If you get Davis, you can do the whole thing in like 2-3 minutes. This one takes a little longer, obviously, but it's still one of the quickest ones in my opinion. And I just like kind of driving the Ignis a lot. So it's a good mission, and we're gonna go ahead and do this here. So I'm going to be using the Combat MG because I think that a lot of the fights are kind of long range, and having the bigger mag plus the higher damage is very nice. Okay, that was Special Carbine. I meant to have out my Combat MG. So, with this, I would start taking out these guys here, but I'd work your way up here and just take out the lady in the blue. Once you're here, you can practically clear out the entire building from up here. You want to get the guy on the other side because he causes problems. Then you can just kind of go like this. If you really want to, you could pull out like a railgun or an RPG and use explosives, because the bike is in the back of the Titan here. So that's the only part you really need to worry about. Just don't shoot rockets back there. But as you can see, with basically one mag, I took out almost every NPC. There's like one back here behind the wall. I'm not even going to worry about taking him out. The stolen bike will always be here. It's either this Avaris, sometimes it's a Shinobi, but doesn't really matter which one it is. Now, when you do these, you'll need to hit a button to unlock the door. And in this case, in the hangar, it's right here. And the other two, it'll be like right at the door. It won't be hard to find. So we're gonna hit this. When I hit this, they will spawn more NPCs. So you just want to make sure you either take them out or get right back on the bike and go from there. I like to take them out, that way I don't need to worry about getting shot on my way out, and I can conserve my health. Okay, I might actually die here, because this guy, I can't shoot him for some reason. Gonna heal up real quick. At this point, I'm just gonna grab the bike and leave. They're all down, so there we go. And now we're just gonna deliver this back to the agency, and that'll do it for the contracts. Like I said, you can do gang termination or some other ones, but these 4 that I've shown you are, I think, the fastest and the most worth. So that's how I would do it. I mean, gang termination is good with some locations, but other locations it's not, and there's no way to tell like which one you're gonna get. It's just random, so in my opinion it's not worth the risk. I'd just rather do one that's like guaranteed to take me, you know, roughly 5 minutes, maybe give or take, depending on the location you get. So yeah, we're just gonna also, these NPCs, you don't really need to worry about them. They really won't do too much as long as you don't like crash or take too long. If you're going fast enough, you'll basically just get shot maybe like once or twice, if at all, and so it's not really that big of a problem. It is just annoying when they spawn like on the road directly in front of you, especially on a bike, but if you go fast enough and you keep an eye out, you'll do just fine. Alright, so now the NPCs despawn, we're just gonna go ahead and park this. Right there. And there it is. There we go, we dropped off the keys. If you guys found this video enjoyable or helpful, please leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. Subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.